Schönen guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Serie von der Firma JP Performance GmbH. Wir befinden uns im wunderschönen Huntington Beach in Los Angeles. Und eine Sache, die wir hier als Thema wirklich noch nicht groß thematisiert haben, ist einfach das Thema American Muscle. Das ist auch schon sehr selten, dass das draufsteht mit einem L. Das ist nicht, was er getrunken hat heute, sondern das sind 7,3 Liter Hubraum hier. Und wir sind in der absoluten Hubraumwelt, die man sich nur vorstellen kann. Und wir haben uns einen kleinen Guide, würde ich mal so, zur Hand gegeben, der uns bestimmt ein, zwei Videos hier verfolgen wird. Und zwar ist das wirklich für mich Mister American Muscle No.1. Und zwar kennt ihr ihn aus den Videos von früher so bei den Hoonigans. Und zwar ist das Zack. Und der Typ ist einfach so unfassbar durch. Das kann man sich echt nicht vorstellen. Der hat wirklich einen Schatten, der Typ. So.
It's my last name. My name is Daniel Swan.
Hey.
What's up, man? Swan. Nice to meet you, JP.
Swan?
Yeah.
That's a pretty fancy name.
What's up, man?
You
Good
good?
to see you.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up, dude?
I'm glad we got to finally do this, man.
Yes. We talked about it 2 times,
Yeah.
and then I didn't make it.
It's okay.
The shirt is...
Hey, man, we're trying to stay official here. You wanted American power, right?
And
So you called me. So unfortunately, by the way, this is SEMA week next week, right? So basically, everyone's like gnarly car is gone, and luckily, this man was in town still, and this thing is bad to the bone. If you want, we can pull it out, shoot it in the light, or you could shoot it in here, whatever you want.
no, pull it out. Pull it out.
Yeah.
It's going to SEMA?
No, it's not. I actually just got back from vacation. I literally stepped off a cruise ship yesterday morning.
So you're in the best
So when he
condition.
hit me up, I barely had service. Yeah, I just had a whole week of drinking. So.
Here, tell you what, we'll pull it right over here. We got a white wall
White
here.
wall, okay.
Yeah, we can.
And Zach, I got so many questions. I mean, first of all, the Utah license plate is because of sound and all this?
Well-
because so many Americans now explain to me, being from California, that
So,
if you
okay.
got a California license plate, it gets problems now?
California is much like Germany on their strictness, right? But like my business is based out of Utah. I still have a place in Utah, so I register all of my vehicles there, and my license is there. So it's legal. It's legal, okay? But yeah, there's no way this would pass anything. Here, I'll show you one. Like,
Jetzt pass auf. Jetzt geh in
License
Deckung.
plate says Chop Lord.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Jetzt pass auf. Akens, pass auf.
I don't think California allows that.
I love it.
Yeah.
That wakes you up, though.
Yeah, it's good. You know, it's like morning coffee.
So if they stop you with this, they see the Utah license plate, and then I'm just cruising by.
The beautiful thing is, like, for the most part, I feel like police really like Corvettes, right? Like, it's just like a universal, like, hell yeah. So I don't typically get messed with. I've been pulled over once because I was going too fast in a spot where I shouldn't have, but it was very early in the morning. I was trying to get down to Mexico for the Baja 500, and so it was like 4:30 in the morning. I needed to meet with the crew so we could depart, you know, and have all the trophy trucks and stuff on there.
Yeah.
And they were waiting for me. So I was going like triple the speed limit, you know. But they were like, listen, I get it, but I still have to give you a ticket for this because you're being an asshole. And I was like, I understand. That's cool.
3 times the speed limit. That's a
They
ticket like.
well, no,
How much is that?
they didn't give me a ticket for that.
No?
They gave
Not
me
at
a
all?
ticket for going a little over the speed limit.
How much would it be if you go 3 times?
Pretty sure you like lose your license, or you'd like in some cases you might go to jail. There was forgiveness.
Zach, now this is the first time I really got a LS3.
Yes.
LS. I apologize.
No worries.
There's an LS1.
Yes.
LS2, LS3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So there's a LS1, which is a 5.7 liter.
What years?
LS1 came out in, I believe, 1997 in the Corvette, and then 98 and above in the F body, so Trans Ams and Camaros. Then they came out with the LS2 later on. That was like 2004, I believe, to 2006, and then the LS3 was the evolution from that. The cylinder head changed from a cathedral port to a rectangular port.
Cathedral.
Yeah, I If I had one here, I'd show you. But they just happen to flow a little bit better. And then obviously the displacement was increased to 6.2 liters.
So American way, more power, just make it bigger.
Yes, make it bigger, make it more efficient. So they actually are more efficient, right? So this, even with the cam and heads on it and the exhaust, it still do like 25 miles to the gallon. I don't know what that is in liters. I apologize.
25
Like
miles.
3.8 lites per gallon.
How much per gallon?
3.8 liters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, so ungefähr 10 Liter. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Not like this.
No.
Like this. So
But
before,
with the cams, everything.
Yeah, when it was stock, it would do 35 miles to the gallon on the highway.
What they doing over there?
Oh, SEMA. So you can show that after next week. If this comes out after Tuesday, I think you're good. But yeah, that's
no, that will take time.
okay. That's fine. But yeah, that's getting prepped for SEMA, and then that's something probably more your speed.
Yeah.
That thing's actually pretty cool.
I really want to get into this, and that's why I really reached out to you to get a little explanation, because I don't know where to start. So if this engine is a Chevy engine.
Yes.
So are people mad if I put a Chevy engine into a Mustang?
No, that's actually very common. They will be mad if you put a Ford engine into a Chevy, though. I did that.
Is this your opinion?
No, I did that actually myself with the Tahoe that's in there. The first motor was a Ford Godzilla because they only wanted to do like the first in the world. People were pissed, but it also didn't work out so well. So I'm going back to a Chevy.
So what's the best V8? Just your opinion. It's an LS.
No, I mean there's a lot of I mean like it's if cheap, effective, power, LS. It's great. It's really hard to beat.
Okay.
Right? Big power. I love big blocks.
And it's not an LS.
No, I can show you. Actually, I have actually a couple engines in there.
Yeah, let's go inside. I think for the first video, it makes sense that we just get a little knowledge. It's manual?
Yes. We're going to push this forward so you can get a better look. So this is my friend Ron's Mustang.
They increase in price crazy, right?
Oh yeah, especially like in the last like 2-3 years, like they
Crazy.
exploded. He built this years ago, and I've only seen it drive like 3 times. He blew it up on daily transmission. He blew it up with me in the car, just driving on the street, and then it just sat for a long time. And then,
but why?
Well, because he's busy.
But why? Because they're not reliable?
Oh, no. It was the original, so it had some problems because the guy that he bought it from had done like this weird like wiring, so he was tucking the wires, but they didn't sheathe any of the wire passages through the body.
Yeah,
so it was just sawing on them, so it would have all these weird electrical issues, and then it would wind up overheating, it would wind up like just random sensors failing, and so you didn't know what was happening, and then it would cause a bunch of problems, like the fan would stop working, or the fuel pump would just all of a sudden kind of like intermittently cut off, so it would just like lean out. So we're fixing all this stuff. I wanted him to drive this thing, so I was like, bring it to my shop, we'll fix it together. It's too cool not to drive.
So you now have a shop here?
Yeah, this is mine.
So you do customer work?
No. Just me.
Just you.
I'm not like an actual mechanic. I'm a YouTuber,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure it out. This is like my own schooling. I always wanted to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
But like this way I get to learn, and I get to fail. And
it's great. So he did that to lower the car, right?
So this is caster camber plates.
Because it's lifted up.
It is, but this way you can adjust the camber.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And so this is like a very rudimentary way of doing it, but that's how you have to do it on these cars.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So
a lot to digest here.
Fox body is, they're different ones, right? They're one with different...
So this is it's what's called a notchback, because it actually has a trunk. Then they had I forgot what the other one, but it's like they had a hatchback, right? So the hatchback one, the whole hatch all the way to here comes up. These are more used, they're sturdier, and they're used for like police cars and stuff like that. I don't know. They have a cooler look, in my opinion, than the
I love it. I mean,
yeah.
So how much do I have to spend for a stock one and then start the project?
how good of a stock? Like, do you want a shell or do you want like one that routes?
Driving. It still drives, but it's not good.
Probably you can pick one up for $8,000 to $10,000. That's
crazy.
Not like destroyed.
They were 5?
They were like, I mean, when I was 17, I remember I was trying to buy one myself, and I remember somebody asking $2,500 for one, and I was like, that's way too much. Like, you're never gonna get that. Like, you could pick them up for $1,500 20 years ago, you know? Now, they're, you know, you're lucky if you get one for 10, especially in California, because California, everything's more expensive for some reason.
These are 19-inch.
Yeah, so
and they fit like easy.
No. Okay, so Ron is a wheel designer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ron's a wheel designer, and obviously he wanted to have this like massive setup on his car. So like these are 275s, I believe, up front, right? And then
I think
those
they're bigger. They're 295.
Yeah, so it's the same as my Corvette, but like my Corvette, it doesn't look huge. On this, it looks enormous. On the back, they're 325s.
Yeah.
So if you come and shoot from the bottom here, you can see just how wide these things are.
On a little car.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
Because we jumping from one point to another. So let's stay with the engines.
So okay, here's a few different things. So this is like the new engine that's going in this truck.
It's
right?
an LS.
So this is an LS based engine. Obviously, it's highly modified. You know, but you know, you can see the footprint of it, right? It's not very big. Obviously, with the supercharger and everything on it, it makes it look kind of ridiculous and cartoonish.
I just waited if you finish the sentence. It's not very big, and I was like, that's pretty big.
Like if we just, this is just sitting on here, right? So if we just pull this off, right?
That's why you go to the gym, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the only reason. Okay, so this is more accurate.
Why are these American engines so huge? Everything is, I mean...
Because it's American.
I mean...
Because it looks awesome.
I mean, look! How much is a supercharger like that?
Price-wise?
Yeah.
I think like 9 grand. But for like the whole kit, it's like 80 pounds. It's quite heavy.
It's like a human being.
Yeah, it's pretty big. If we look at the footprint of this, again, sorry, this is just mocked up. I wanted to see what it looked like. I just got it like 2 days ago. So it's really small, right? So for the size, it's incredibly compact. You can make killer power with them. This was the old engine that was in this. This is a Ford Godzilla here. Oh wait, this one's bolted on. If you look at the size, this is enormous, right? So this is Ford's new gas 7.3 liter engine. New. This is new. So this.
But it's a 2-valve head.
Yes, it's a push rod. Yes, it's a push rod motor.
It's new.
Yes.
That's not new technology, though.
No, I know it's not new technology, but it is actually pretty efficient and it's pretty neat. If you look at some things like the size of the cam bore, it is enormous.
Yeah, one second. For euch, Leute, because Germans don't know that.
Oh.
The cam is here, because we only have cams in the head.
Yes.
Also, die haben eine zentrale Nockenwelle. I think no German company ever did that.
No.
It's an American way. So you have one camshaft.
Yes.
One for...
Yeah. And you have push rods. I have all that stuff sitting here. I can like lay it out and show it.
Yeah, later on, for sure. So, also wir haben eine zentrale Nockenwelle, die über Stangenstöße hier hochschiebt und dann mit Kipphebeln die Ventile steuert. Und er sagt gerade, das ist ein neuer Motor. Das heißt, das ist die... From what year is this technology?
When did it start, or when did that engine get made?
When did it start that they used this kind of technology with
1950 or something like that, 1940. So this motor was blown up, but if you...
That's a camshaft.
This is the camshaft. So the camshaft sits in the middle. All right. So then you have lifters that ride on the camshaft, right? Mm-hmm. So these are roller lifters.
With contact.
Yes, so those would sit, you know, like this, right? Then those push rods. So then, which sit in here, then those actuate a rocker which sits up in the head here, right?
And they have to be light, right?
The lighter the valve train can be, the more it can rev, but harmonics come into play, and then it has to be like, you get into situations where you can break things, right? And it's like a delicate balance. But this, basically, so it goes like this. So when the camshaft turns, it pushes this. So it'll push up this rocker, and then this pushes the valve down, right? So Very archaic, but it can work. And these motors can actually turn quite high RPM for how big they are. So they're like 8,500 and 9,000 RPM.
How? I mean, this is crazy.
Because the valve train geometry is actually quite stable for how big it is. The fun thing about these is they come with a big forged crankshaft from the factory.
And this is Ford?
This is a Ford, yes. Now this is a truck motor. This was intended for 2020 and up F-250 trucks, so 3/4 ton trucks.
If somebody would ask me, I would always say this engine is from the 90s or 80s.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same type of technology, but there's a lot of things that have been learned from that time that have made these way more efficient. And it's obviously, you know, when you have an overhead cam engine, far more efficient for turning lots of RPM, but then you get into situations where you don't get as much low-end torque.
Okay.
So with the 2-valve motor, you can generate a lot of initial torque, right? Because you have a bigger valve, it's instantaneously opening, whereas if you have 4, you can still, you know,
more efficient, but it's too delicate.
Yeah, and so that's why, you know, you get this much higher in the RPM range, like, you know, power band.
So, but this was a turbo setup.
Yes. So this here, so the turbo that was on that. This was the turbo that was on that motor.
What?
Yeah. So you can see.
That's a G47? No, that's
a
G50.
It's a G47. So it's a new, but it's actually I sized it to be the smallest single turbo that I could run on this motor because I wanted it to light off really quick, and it did. We were able to get like
3, 5, 4.
Oh no, like instantaneously, right at like 3,000 RPM, it was making 18.5 pounds of boost. So it was doing like, I don't know, like 1,1600 horsepower.
Torque was immense.
Oh yeah, it was terrifying.
And okay, wait, so, wow.
The compression on this motor is pretty high too.
10.
12.
And then turbo.
Sorry, 12.5.
And what gasoline?
E85, actually 91 on the lowest setting, that was 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
E85, you know, 18 pounds of boost, so that's when...
Power happens.
Yeah.
Boy. So wait, we're jumping.
Okay.
Chevy, Ford.
Yeah.
Big?
Pretty big.
Big block.
Essentially, you can call it that, because this is
small block.
Small block.
Big block.
Now this is a Chevy big block, and you can see, I wish that I had this on a crate so it was up the same height. This is bigger than this. This is a 540 cubic inch big block.
Oh, 1 second. What kind of liters?
7.4 liters, or 7.3 liters. Yeah, 7.3.
Single turbo 7.3 liters.
Yes.
And this one is
This one's 7. This was 427 cubic inches, so that's 7 liters.
Yeah, and this?
This is 540 cubic inches. Ooh. So I don't know what that. I can do the math really quick.
It's huge.
It's pretty big. It's not as big as the one in my truck, but it's big. It's like 9 liters. 9-ish. 8.99.
9 liter?
Yeah. But like the problem with these are great. They make tons of torque, tons of power effortlessly, right? Obviously not very fuel efficient, as you can imagine. And a strange part about those engines, or not strange, but an inefficient. So you can see, I'll just show these off really quick. You can see how the valves are set up. So it makes it, they're not incredibly stable. So like, to get a big block to turn really high RPM, you wind up having to spend a lot of money in valve train. Like thousands of dollars, and just like, you know, your cam, your rockers, your push rods, and then the lift, the rockers themselves. Usually, like this one has a stud girdle, so you'll see.
So, but what would you? If we got these 3 engines. What is your favorite? When you just think of, I have it. When I think of engines, I can surely say, well, I really enjoy a 2J. I really enjoy this. But from these 3, what's in your mind?
Well, that's really hard because I meant to do. So I really like big blocks because in that truck, you've ridden in it, right?
It was.
Oh, it's way faster now. It's like 200 foot-pounds of torque more. Yeah, I just finished and made it, but so check it. Yeah, I don't know. I love big block power, and they sound
immense.
Yeah, they sound so crazy. Okay.
Oh.
So you can see with this, these, you know, we got roller rockers on this, really nice dual valve springs, big push rods, and then this is a stud girdle. So if you look, you can see how like the valves are not like equal. They're just kind of, they're called canted.
Yeah.
So what that does is it kind of makes the valve train slightly unstable. Of course, right? Like the higher you get in RPM, it's going different directions. So it makes it kind of hard.
And why is it possible to change it?
It is, but then you need a completely, they make a different head design, but then it starts making things like really crazy, right? It gets like, you have like 3 different length push rods. You have, you know, you'll need like custom, the heads have to match like a custom intake manifold. And there's just like a lot you have to do to it.
So what kind of money are we talking about then if you want to build something like this crazy?
So with this, this is actually pretty cheap, right? Like as it sits now, this would be like, maybe like $10,000 to $12,000. You can
and how much power are you looking at?
Without, this is set up for a supercharger, but without the supercharger, it'd still make like 670 horsepower and like 650 foot-pounds of torque.
And they still make big blocks these days?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You can buy them really easy, and they're actually much more affordable than, let's say, building an LS that's capable of handling.
Oh, this is not a Chevy?
This is a Chevy.
This is a Chevy, yeah.
This is a Chevy.
LS is the engine. LS does not mean automatically Chevy.
No.
LS is the...
Well, yeah, but it does.
It is Chevy, yeah.
So if you build like a Chevrolet LS engine that's capable of like a ton of power, that was probably like $35,000.
This
30,
one?
37, yeah. I mean, not including any of the other parts. So like that front, even that...
35,000?
Yeah. I mean, that's set up to do 2,000 horsepower though, which is relatively cheap for 2,000 horsepower.
Das ist true. Ich bin in diesem Auto-Ding drin, seitdem ich denken kann. Und ich habe das immer gesehen. Und auch ein Big Block, ja, das ist der große Baukasten. Dann LS. Aber ich habe immer noch nicht verstanden, was ein LS1, ein LS7, LS8 ist der?
No. There's
LS7.
There's LS9. That was in the ZR1. There's no LS8 though.
No, okay.
I don't know why.
Okay. And this has a code too? No, this is just big block.
Just Chevrolet big block. This would be a Gen 5.
Okay.
It's just big block.
Wir wollen in diesem Trip rausfinden, welches Auto wir als Basis überhaupt wollen. Yes. So now you're telling me, I can put an LS in everything, and nobody will be
No, it's the easiest, most efficient swap that you can do. That's why, you know, it's LS swap the world. But people are getting sick of them because they work so well, and everybody's done them because they work so well.
I mean, I saw it in the drift yard years ago, how people really try. They did things with this engine where my heart says, well, the piston, I give the piston another 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Then it will be just melted. Nothing happens. They just go.
Yeah.
Okay.
You beat on them endlessly. If they're built right, you get, I mean, even a really simple, mostly stock one, I've watched guys beat within an inch of their life, where I'm like, how is this not blown up? And obviously, you know, I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
They're just good. They're good motors, and they're cheap and they work out. But like, man, when you want sound and just violent horsepower, like this is, you know.
But it needs more room.
It does need a lot more room. It makes it complicated because, you know, you're trying to shove such a big, that was the problem with this. So like with this, I can show you pictures of what this looked like before with this motor in it, and it took up so much room. But now with the LS, I mean, I've got a mock-up block. You can see how tiny it is, right? It just, so it's like, it's...
Yeah, that's with head.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
So it's like, it's so much smaller, whereas...
The motor is drin.
The Ford was like all the way almost to here, and then it was like out to here, right?
I mean, still enough room, though.
There was enough room, but it was a pain.
But why do people build it in this?
Because it's stupid.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I've always loved these two-door SUVs as a kid, so I thought it'd be cool to just make one that'd be comfortable to drive, and I can do drag and drive events, and it's four-wheel drive, so like...
It's four-wheel drive?
Yeah,
How?
yeah.
I mean, dry sump or the oil pan was existing to make it four-wheel drive?
No. I mean, it was already four-wheel drive from the factory, and then we put that motor in it, which had a wet sump. The new motor has a dry sump.
Oh, see, I'm thinking too much like a German. The differential is underneath the engine by itself.
Yeah, there's a lot of room. It doesn't need to go through the oil pan.
Guck mal, weil bei uns ist es immer so, wenn das Allrad ist, dann muss es durch die Ölwanne durch. Nee, hier ist so viel Platz. Der Motor ist einfach über dem Differential, einfach ein ganz normales Differential vorne. So my head, because I like RPM.
Yeah.
So I think LS would be good.
I think it would be good for you too.
So then, which one? High RPM, power NA.
Yeah.
And I like this screaming. You know, I met at your shop the guy with the E36 drift car.
Oh, Micah.
Yeah.
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 What kind of engine is that?
It's an LS.
LS.
Well, the custom setup that had like 15-to-1 compression. So only race gas, you know. That's why it screams.
It screams.
Yeah. But it's basically like, I believe it's an LS1 base.
LS1 base.
Yeah, but it was bored. I think it was it's 408 cubic inches.
So I can get an engine built in America, I guess.
Oh yeah, very easy.
Because in Germany, if I start with that, I don't know who to talk to.
I'll plug you in with some people. We'll make some calls.
Yeah.
It's not a big
Look,
deal.
I got my guy from Germany.
Yeah, we'll get you set up with something.
And everything has to be manual in my case.
Of course.
So what kind of gearbox should I use then?
The simplest, makes sense, is like a
Stock.
Like a TR6060. So that's the evolution of the T56.
You gotta write this down.
Okay, Tremec makes a TR6060. That is the next evolution from the T56. It holds a lot more power. You can do a lot more with it. That's what's in my Corvette, right? They're great.
So you changed the gearbox on the Corvette?
No, that's what comes stock.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's it's a transaxle version, but it's, you know, you can get just get one out of an F body. So like a new Camaro with TR6060.
And it fits right on it?
Yeah.
Clutch, everything available?
It's meant to. So it's meant for that, and it'll handle most of the power you're trying to throw at it with a lot of RPM.
Okay, how much power do I get out of it? In Germany, we got 102 octane on the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
At the gas station. So how much power would you say NA, no turbo, no supercharger, out of an LS?
Well, you can either go LS or LT, right? The LT is the next evolution. We can.
Don't fuck me up, man. You're bringing up a new.
You know what? You can do like 700 NA horsepower with them.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's good.
I mean, you could do more than that if you wanted. Like if you want to get crazy.
Gas.
Yeah.
And okay, crazy in money or crazy in reliability?
Money, but reliability would be there.
And how much money would that be?
Right at like, I don't know, like if you're trying to get like that close to that 800 horsepower door, you know, knocking on it, probably like right in the high 30s, 30,000-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But
and it revs then
like upper 7,000s, you know, nearly 8. If you want it, you can. There's dudes that make.
I would love to have 8.5, 9.
Then you're getting pricey, but like, you know, you can do it. It can be done. It has been done. You just want a smaller displacement one with shorter stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, but it can be done.
Because your smaller stroke, that's still over 5 liters, right? See.
Yeah, you definitely do that. I mean, like 5.5 liters, right? On one of these with like a big bore.
Yeah. I like that shit.
Yeah, spin it up, baby. Let's go. You'd have a solid roller camshaft. So it would take a little bit of adjustment, you know. Every couple, 1,000 miles, you'd probably just need to check the valve lash. Easy stuff.
Every 1,000?
Every couple, I mean.
And then you adjust it just with the screw, right? On top.
Yeah, there's like a screw. And
so not like with Porsche, it's easy. Just like.
Just feeler gauge.
Finish.
Yeah.
And can I hear or at least sit in a car with something like this?
Yeah. I have one here, my Corvette. His is a supercharged LS2. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do today.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
You'll see it. Well, we can go rip my Vet. We can go rip his car. You can see what it's all about.
Okay. I want to change the axles.
Yeah.
What people do, right?
Yeah.
To make them handle more modern.
Yeah, and if you want to do like an IRS, like an independent rear suspension.
Yeah, right.
That's.
So all these 4 are possible to do.
Yes. Like all muscle cars now, there's companies that build you could just slap it right on top of a chassis and it's golden. So you'll have an IRS, you'll have basically Corvette, you'll basically have a Corvette suspension, right? So, the Corvette uprights, everything.
Oh, this is how you do it?
Yeah, so check this out. This is a good example. So this is a Roadster Shop chassis that you can so this is actually for a second gen F-body, so like a Firebird or Camaro, but just like a little bit later. So that's like a 73 and up.
So they also have the same frame thing like a truck? I didn't know that.
Well, they don't. They're unibody, but like you can
sit it on it.
Yeah.
And this is heavy?
It's decently heavy, but it definitely stabilizes it much more. But it's set up to where you can run, you can either run this or you can run an independent rear suspension on them. If you get the option for the independent suspension, it actually looks much more like similar to this, but this is all Corvette C6 stuff. So these uprights are from a Corvette C6 with the hubs. The geometry is super similar, and then you get the rack and pinion and everything. It makes it very easy.
And something like this costs?
Bare, I think they're like, I want to say like 12 grand or something like that. But like you can get it fully powder coated, full, like everything on it, even like the brake lines, everything done, where you just like slapping the car on it. And it's like, you know, probably like 20 grand, something like that, 25.
But
like,
then you're done.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it takes a lot of the hard work out of it and a lot of the pain.
I mean, to build this is terrible.
Yeah.
And it has to be perfect. To
And so when it's not powder coated, you know, obviously it's steel, so it can like rust. So, you know, honestly, if you're going to buy a chassis like this, you just get it powder coated right from them. Never have to worry about it.
Okay, but I can get all the names and address from you. Yeah. So I think the best thing would be if we maybe take a quick ride then in your. Was würdest du vorschlagen? Wo denn sollten wir anfangen? Because we were talking so much about the LS. No, in the SS is also an LS.
Yes, it is.
I'll take that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say we start in this one then.
We should.
Okay, let's go over there then.
Come on.
Also wir stehen jetzt hier an der Karre. Ich dachte, es wäre ein ZR1 Motor, aber es ist kein ZR1 Motor, weil der Kompressor sieht ähnlich aus. So it's an LS.
It's an LS2, right? Built LS2?
It's an LQ4.
Oh, LQ4.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Iron 6. I mean,
So okay, the LQ4 and the LQ9. It's a 6-liter version of an LS, but it's iron block, right? So they're much stronger. It's actually probably one of the better castings of a stock motor.
You have no clue how much I feel I have to buy the wrong shit, because I thought I come to you, you tell me a name of an engine, this is the best way to go, you bringing up some new shit.
Yeah, it's the same, it's just iron blocks, and the aluminum blocks have the different coating of LQ, LM, and then the LS all start with the LS, you know, but what they say is LS based, you know, they're all LS platform.
Yeah. The geometry looks extremely similar, pretty the same, it's just the different casting.
Yeah.
So, but why do you choose it?
Because I'm cheap. One, this was definitely cheaper than buying like a LS3 or something. This was like sitting on the backyard ground, and
This is a iron block.
Yeah, it's an iron block,
So
and
it's
then
a little heavier.
They built it up. Yeah, it's a little heavier, but not really so much concerned with weight in this situation. But what a lot of people were telling me at the time of building was that an iron block would just perform better, like it'd be more durable, I would say, in terms of performance and putting power to it.
You told me the other ones are also durable.
They are,
They all
but
are really
I mean,
great,
you know,
but, yeah.
if you want to cram a bunch of boost in it, an iron block just works better.
Yeah, it's true.
yeah.
You know,
So how much boost is this?
I'm actually not certain, but I want to say like in the 12 psi range.
So
probably.
a little less than 1 bar.
I'm not even.
Yeah,
certain on
14
that. No, you might
psi
get
is
out of my
around
range
1
on
bar.
that thing, yeah.
So how much power is this then?
It hasn't been on a dyno, but on the other setup, it was 650 wheel, and on this one, I want to say it's probably closer in the 700s.
we're gonna call it 800 because this is America.
Well, it probably would be, but I'm not trying to be that guy. I was like, oh, it's 850.
It's 1,000.
And then they go into a dyno and it's like 799.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But clean setup, perfect example of what's
super
possible in like a classic muscle car with modern technology.
Yeah.
And
So for example, I know people hate that.
Yeah.
If you would sell it,
Yeah.
how much would that be?
Oh God.
No, not dream price. Just
Yeah.
it's not for sale, right?
No, it's not. No. I bought this when I was 11, so the price tag is much too high. But
You bought the car when you were 11.
yeah. I told my wife, I was like, hey, if somebody offered me a ridiculous amount of money, would you say I should sell it? And she said no, because she's like, I don't want to hear about it the rest of your life that you never got that car back. You know. She's like, it's
True.
probably less painful just to never accept an offer.
So let's take this part out.
Yeah, but taking that out, these kind of cars and builds, I like to think mine is nicer in many ways. Like six figures, like 100,000 or something like that, or 80 to 100,000 is not unreasonable at all.
a 69 Chevelle, like it's in good shape,
It's
is
already
like 30, 40.
Yeah,
40.
I'm probably even lowballing myself a little bit. It just, the market is even lower right now on these, so if you are buying, you might have a better chance now. But you know, some people put a 120 tag on this and get it. You know, it's kind of the right buyer. You know.
295 40 18. Der sieht aus wie ein auf dem Auto, oder? Ein 295 40 18.
Okay. He's gonna tape up a little bit in there. He's gonna end up taping that camera.
Is it the John Wick car? Just asked that.
John Wick had a 70 Chevelle or
Oh, okay.
something. Yeah, very similar. You know, the 68 to 72, they share a lot of the same parts. 68, 69, 70, 71,
I thought I
72.
recognized it.
Yeah, they share a lot of similar parts and features, like on the underside. So when you go looking for car parts, it always says 68 to 72 A body. You know, that's the parts you'll find.
A-body?
A-body. That's the chassis type, you know.
Okay.
Kind of like your E40, E36, E46 is the A-body, you know.
By itself is impressive. And that's a pretty heavy cam too.
I'm kind of throttling it a little bit because the idle, it'll idle really low. You know, it's definitely a pretty cold-blooded beast, but with
so it needs a little higher.
Well, yeah, it's partially in the tune. I was talking to Bucky last night. There's some tuning in the idle that still needs to be done, but the car actually has like a little bit of a like miss or something going right now, yeah.
And the suspension is still...
No, it's I have it set really soft right now, but it's coilovers, double adjustable coilovers, so it's you know, compression and rebound are separate.
Okay.
Control arms and everything are UMI performance, so they're, you know, they're modern, you know, upgraded.
So this is what we talked about, right?
Yes. Damn, this is gonna be.
But other Americans enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is like the go-to, like, you see this car rolling on the street and everybody's like, hell yeah.
Wallah Krise.
I spun the tires a little bit.
Baby spin.
So you want to build a Nova, or you're not sure if you want to do a Chevelle or a Nova?
I'm not sure. I'm also into the Camaro.
Oh, yeah?
68.
Oh, okay. Not 69 like everybody else?
Yeah, 69,
okay,
68.
There you go.
That's how it is. And I also like the Mustang from what year?
Like late 60s.
Yeah, 60s Mustangs. The fastbacks are really,
But you don't hear the supercharger at all.
well, my exhausts are so loud that, you don't get to really hear it. But when I get into the 3000, you'll hear it behind the dash a little bit. Like, you'll hear it kind of wind up. Yeah, I always thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have this big, whiny, you know, thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, your exhaust would have to be, like, silent, you know, so. But you'll hear it kind of.
See that thing.
It's very, very faint, yeah.
But it's okay from inside. I mean, it's loud, but
Yeah.
it's chill. So if you floor it now, how does it respond? No, in that gear.
Oh, in this gear? I mean, it's a little doggish because I'm in too high of a gear and then it comes in, but
And it's super soft. I mean,
the suspension is really soft.
It's
Yeah, but
very
your seat
soft.
is also a big part of it too.
Okay.
Do I need to go right here to get on?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, part of it is your seat is very springy. And then the other part of it is I have the suspension set really soft on purpose.
The idleness.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's a long tube header, right?
Yeah.
To get that sound.
Yeah, and the exhaust. Yeah, 3-inch. It's a 3-inch exhaust with Black Widow's race venom mufflers, and those race venom. Yeah.
65?
Some 5 or 6. I never got those down.
Da drüben ist zum Beispiel jetzt einfach ein anderer Mustang an der Kreuzung, der auch genau umgebaut ist. Ich zeige euch den mal.
He's got his kids in the car.
We don't have this in Germany at all.
You need it.
They run clean, you know.
Yeah. When you're talking about buying the right or the wrong car, if you're gonna go Camaro, the '69 Camaro is definitely the right car in terms of like the most iconic, most sought after, highest value. So if you built one, you know,
And handling wise, are they?
Well, you're always going to have to redo all of it.
Yeah.
And then when you redo them, they're all in that level, or?
Yeah.
Because some have a structural problem, you know?
If you put
Oh, there's a Nova right there.
Why are so many cars like that around? Wow.
Oh, that's my buddy Mike. Wicked Mike. He has a 70 Chevelle also.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a LS2. He bought that for his wife, but he drives it everywhere.
But now I understand the feeling about it.
Yeah.
When you cruise, the drive, it is special.
Exactly.
And this makes a huge difference. The manual gearbox is what it's about.
I would say they're a little more raw. Like they're as raw as you want them to be, you know. But I mean, you guys got the German. You know, you got everybody's gutting their cars now and making them more raw.
Red light.
Yeah, thanks. So that's Bear Brakes stopping us right there, baby. I saw you have them on your Blazer.
Have to.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bear Brakes. Yeah,
Yeah, Bear Brakes.
Is it the brand?
Yeah. Yeah.
BAER.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no Brembos or something. Some of them.
Yeah, but I don't have Brembos on mine. You know, they just don't make a direct replacement kit.
Yeah, yeah. So to start it or to really get, is the grip level okay?
The grip?
Yeah, if you wanna get going now.
Yeah.
And this is how big? This is 7 liter, right?
6.0. It's like 370 cubic inch on this one with the bore and everything.
So if we would drive, a 9 liter, is it way more torque?
Maybe a question for him. I haven't really been in the big leader,
Oh, yeah.
but I know like the LS7s, you know, the 7.0s.
And this revs up to what?
I have it rev limited at like 62, but it goes 7, I would say, like without, you know, big problems.
One thing you'll see is as we get down here to Main Street, everybody's got cool cars.
Here's it.
Huntington
Yeah.
Beach,
Yeah.
it's all about, like, weekends are all about cruising here.
Let's let these guys go ahead.
So in Germany, the cops know that too, and they go especially after that to stop it.
Oh, they'll go after you?
Yeah, 100%.
Here
What,
they
just,
more
like,
so.
driving around?
Hmm?
Just driving around?
Yeah, of course. No, they don't want you to drive around.
So they're here, like, they'll give more respect, in my opinion, to a classic car, a muscle car, and somebody who's just cruising. And if you have a really loud, like, Honda, they'll definitely write you, send you to the worst, you know, sort of the referee. So
Honda is.
yeah, like imports and these guys that are doing the little modifications and, like, you know, just tearing up the streets all the time with their loud exhaust, they'll shut them down real quick. Classic cars get it, I would say, like you were saying earlier, you know, a little forgiveness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Huntington Beach is a very cool area.
Yeah, definitely. It's a car mecca.
It's pretty slow right now, but usually, like, midday down here, it's just packed full of, like, any weekend, it's just packed full of muscle cars.
If you would drive around Germany with an exhaust like this, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, we bought
10,000 Karens would go like this. The way you drive right now, just slowly, quiet. They will let you know, get the hell out of here.
Oh, they hate it.
100%.
Wow.
Why is that?
This area, if you be on a traffic light like this,
Yeah.
They'll give
they
you thumbs
will.
up.
Yeah, no. Here in Germany they will tell you no.
Yeah, it's different.
Crazy.
People support it here, man.
Yeah, they actually prefer it.
It's where you need to be.
Yeah.
See? Ich glaube, alle möglichen Leute geben uns einen Daumen nach oben und zeigen uns einfach so viel Respekt. Das ist unglaublich.
We call those people here Karens, right? They're like
he did
standing.
too. That's what he did.
They'll be standing right here and they'll be like yelling at you, like, "Why do you have to have such a loud car?" You know? Oh, there's a Thunderbird right there.
Yeah, I saw it. That's pretty
chop,
sexy,
yeah.
yeah. Wow.
So are you running an H pipe on this?
X.
Oh, you are running an X pipe.
What kind of differential is that?
What's that?
Is it a lock diff?
Posi traction, true track. It's just a 12-volt rear end, like kind of like a standard GM.
Standard GM.
Yeah,
Traction is
pretty much.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
fun.
has nice
Tires.
Falcon tire. Oh, see, there's HB Police. It has Falcon tires in the back, which are pretty grippy. No offense to Zach and his big muscular body, but he probably put some traction back there for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Should I just park right here?
Yeah, you can. Hell yeah.
Thank you very much. No, honestly, I will not forget that.
No, it was actually really fun to get the opportunity, man.
Appreciate you taking us out.
Yeah, for sure. Smells good. That one goes lower.
Oh yeah.
Das war geil. Das war so intensiv. Das war so richtig, das zu machen, um eine Idee zu bekommen, was hier los ist und was das ausmacht und wie das ist. Weil das Cruisen ist eine Sache. Der Sound, wenn du einfach nur so rollst, wenn du dann aufs Gas trittst, was für eine Explosion da los ist. Weil diese Motoren haben einen 45i, unserem E36, ne? Den musst du genau im richtigen Moment haben, dann kann er die Räder durchdrehen und dann fährt er so los. So?
Der macht das überall.
Digga. Du fährst und dann macht das und dann hat das einfach so ein... I'm just talking about how intensive the power comes.
Yeah, it wakes up. It goes from kind of like it's just driving around, and then it goes pa, just comes open. But
and when it comes open, the power is like an electric car.
Yeah.
The power is there.
Yeah.
Wie ein Elektroauto.
With the supercharger, that's what you get. You're just driving around, and every time you're on the gas, it's kind of ready to go. Like it's already activated, right? With the turbo, I don't have a turbo car, but with the turbo, it's a little delayed, or it winds up, or you have to have the RPMs at a certain point or something.
But when you have a high compression in a car, it's even more.
Oh, even more activated. Yeah, for sure, probably. This is 9.5 to 1 with, like I said, 12 pounds of boost. It's not really a lot,
but it's nice.
But it's ready to, ready to go. Yeah. I didn't want something crazy because then I'll break it faster and I can't afford to build it that many times.
Thank you very much for this.
It has to be just enough juice to have fun and not spend too much money. Yeah.
No, it has juice.
Yeah, for sure.
Also wir waren gerade auf so einer breiten Straße, die halt, wenn wir mit unserem Mietwagen Gas geben, ne? Daran merkt man das, weil in Amerika ist das so, Autos fühlen sich hier nicht so schnell an, weil du eine normale Straße, die wir gerade fahren, eine normale Straße hat 5 Spuren. Und wenn du dann Gas gibst, hast du nicht das Gefühl, wie wenn du in Deutschland mal kurz so Gas gibst, weil alles ist weit weg. Jetzt gerade war es so, als ob es in Deutschland wäre. Also es fühlte sich auf einmal eng an. Also wirklich, ich bin super blown, ich muss erstmal verdauen. Und ich kann euch auf jeden Fall eins sagen, das wird noch so weitergehen. Es kommt noch mehr Ami-Power, weil er uns auf jeden Fall versorgen wird. Ich denke, als nächstes geht es da rein. Und dann gucken wir uns den Unterschied an, weil das ist Sauger, das ist Kompressor. Ich bin gespannt auf die Kommentare, was ihr sagt. Das ist ein super langes Video. Wir haben super viel gesprochen über die verschiedensten Motoren, was ihr so für Erfahrungen habt. Vielleicht sind ja welche da draußen, die auch wirklich Erfahrungen haben. Ja, also ich will gar nicht zu viel quatschen, auf jeden Fall. Aber ich bin noch mal geschockt. Das sind 295er Reifen, die sehen aus wie 225, 40, 18 in Deutschland. Alter. Guckt das mal an. Also, Peace.